Hey everybody, it's Evelyn from YoGirl Craps. This is my second or third video for today. I had said previously that I was down at the Buffalo Creek Casino. I went down there about 6:30 in the evening and I played craps for a while, and then I played the slot machine for a little bit. Then I went back over to the craps table. That was $25 table. So in my first video I'm going to try to get this camera situated again the way I had it. It's a little weird. There we go. So anyway, that $25 table that I was at when I went up there were these two guys. Well, the whole table was full when I got there, but particularly there were these two guys that were huge. And if you know Buffalo, we have a couple of professional sports teams, and two of the guys at the table might have been on one of the professional sports teams, right? And they knew what they were doing. According to the one guy that was at the table, they each had bought in for a significant amount of money, like $5,000 each. And they were playing $200 on each number. So they're pretty serious players. I mean, it's expendable money for them, I guess, but they still didn't want to lose it, right? So I was at the table and just watching at that point because there were 6 people there already. But I'm telling you, there was a guy and a woman on the hook, and there was a guy over here at first base. And I don't know if the people had been drinking or what, but they were a huge distraction to the table. And the people, because that table is almost always a quarter table, which it was today, the dealers that they put on that table are very sharp, and they know all the bets, and they're very quick with the hand, taking bets on and off, placing bets and making payouts. And the people that were shooting over here and over here, I'm telling you, they were terrible. Their table manners were awful. It's one thing to be excited and happy at the craps table, and it's another thing to cause a disruption. And I would say that those people caused a disruption at the table. That's a 426. And it was terrible. So we had these people hugging and kissing and all that, and I don't know, this girl, she wanted to blow on the dice. It was absurd. Even with her mask on, it was kind of stupid. But anyhow, and this guy, so the shooter was stick right 1, so the shooter was here, and he was throwing to that side of the table. It was a longer table too. It's a 12-foot table in the front of that casino. I think the other tables are 8 or 10 feet. They're a little bit shorter. But this man was huge. He had to be 6'3", 6'4", at the minimum. He was a very big guy. So he could easily get down to the end of the table. But this guy had his hands all over the table. He was fooling around with his bets. He was, while the dice were out, he's got his hands over here. He's asking the dealer questions. And that guy couldn't shoot. It was horrible. It was absurd, really, because this man's trying to shoot. This guy's over here. The dice, the dice were out. All the dealers are going hands off the table. The dice are out. And this guy is, farting around with his pass line bet or something. So it was the dumbest thing, because the dice hit the guy's hand and the 7 came. Now these guys had $2,400 on the table, for their bets. So then this guy got mad and left. which was too bad. A 538. And then the other guy, who was another possibly a professional athlete, which these guys definitely were professional athletes because they told me their name, but I'm not going to say it on the video. He was an excellent thrower. So I opened the vault and got out I got out maybe 250 of the money that I had in my pocket, and I placed some bets. So I only would bet 2 numbers. So I would bet the 8 and the 9, and then if the 1 would hit, then I would bet the 6 or the 5. So I always had 3 numbers going. That's kind of my thing on the $25 table, because I really don't like to lose money. And I know you can win a lot of money. And I threw a hard 6 out there too. So I had a hard 6 going. And then the guy hit the 6. It was awesome. So I won on my hard 6. I had a nickel on that. And then I had money on the regular 6, so I won that. And then I was walking over when the guy finally 7'd out, and I was up like another $125 or $150. I walked around because the cashier is over on that side, behind the craps table on the other side of the roulette section. And I just sat down at this at the slot machine, and I had $14 left on my ticket. So I put that $14 in, and I was playing between a 50-cent bet and a $1 bet, and I hit that for $100. So my $240 bankroll ended up, I came home with 605 and 25, so like $730. It was awesome. So I'm really happy. That's why I wanted to make this video tonight, just to let everybody know how I did. But I will say, people, when you play, especially if you're new, be mindful of the cadence of the game, the speed of the game. It's almost like hopscotch, where you're, or not hopscotch, jump rope. So you have the jump rope going around, and you're waiting and waiting as to when you should hop in. Then you hop in, and you jump the rope. So it's a timing thing, and I don't think people really appreciate how the table works. And when you're at a good table with a good cadence and the dice are being moved, the dealers change every 20 minutes. So you really only have 20 minutes to enjoy the flow of the table before things change, because then every 20 minutes, one dealer goes on break, and then all the other dealers shift. So the first base dealer goes to the croupier, becomes the stick man, and whoever is running the stick then goes over to third base. Then that person goes for their break. So every 40 minutes, a person has their break. And then, the dynamic of the table changes. So just be aware of that when you play. If you've never played before, kind of watch what other people do. The other thing that I saw today that was aggravating is that when the point is established, is not the time to throw your money on the table to buy in. I saw that happen today too. So, because it's a disruption. If the puck is on and there's a point, you do not come up with paper money and throw it on the table. You wait until the puck is off. And then you can approach the table. You can put your money, you put it on the bar, and you put your Players Club card if you want to get points and credit for it. You put your card with your money when the puck is off, and then the dealers, they set your chips on the and then they pass it, you know, so that the camera can see it, and then they pass the chips over to you. So no throwing money on the table during the roll. No hands on the table when the dice are out. And just be polite. Pay attention to the game. Pay attention to the speed of the game. If you miss putting out your bet, don't worry about it. There is always going to be another opportunity to make a bet. That is one thing that is a little frustrating. It's a little scary at first, because if you want to place a bet or you're not sure what you want to do, you don't really have time to think about it. So if somebody's throwing, say you're on the 6 and 8 and the person's throwing pretty good, whatever, you want to go on the 9, get your money ready. So as soon as that dice hits and those people are paid out, you put your money on your chips on the cum bar, and you tell the dealer, those people are called dealers, 15 on the 9, please. And then they'll place your bet for you. You don't have to make a big deal out of it, but, and if you're not fast enough, there's always going to be another throw. There's always another throw. So anyway, people, I hope that was enjoyable for you. I really had a good day. It felt good to come home with $700 in my pocket when I went with $200. I consider that a good day. I'm not a thousands person. It's too scary for me to place a couple $100 on the 4 or the 10. There's no way I'm going to do that. If I have $10 on the hard ways, that's a big bet for me. 20 is almost unheard of, but it has been done too, depending on how the table's going. But anyway, I'm going to say goodnight, and thanks for watching, and I'll see you again. Okay, bye everyone.